Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of July 10th, 2025. The current character challenge is Mortal Kombat X Scorpion. That is a 1-week repeat. The required characters for that are Cyborg, Solomon Grundy, and Catwoman, who you can all get as low as Bronze tier. So this is great for a newer player. Your limiting factor is going to be how good your guys are, not if you have the required characters.
Right.
His passive is Reborn Spectre, which is reaching 200% damage on a special attack, makes its damage over time automatically crit, and a bonus 8% health per promotion. He was last available on June 27th of last year, so just over a year ago.
Yeah.
Or did I say 1200 attack, 1100 health?
I don't know why it just occurs to me now. There's 3 Mortal Kombat skins, and they're all Scorpion.
Yeah.
Where's Sub-Zero? Why doesn't Kano get any love? All right, so...
Well, it's funny. Sub-Zero would be the easiest one to add in addition to Scorpion, for sure.
So his stats are better than Mortal Kombat Scorpion, who's 950 and 850, but not as good as Classic Scorpion, which is 1400 and 1200. So he's smack dab. He is average Scorpion is what he is. His Special 2 damage is reduced by half of what it should be given his attack stat because of the damage over time effect. His tap combo ender also has damage over time fire, which is not in any of the descriptions. So one real shortcoming of Scorpion has historically been not only is he slow, but in this case, and he's not actually as slow as he used to be, but in this case, his swipe combo is only 2 hits. And the damage of 2 hits is still only 4% each, instead of other characters who have 2 hits on a swipe combo that where they're boosted for the number of hits, right? So Doomsday, I'm thinking of. Shazam. Shazam does 12% damage. Instead of 444, I think he does like 5 and 7. And so a tap combo with the combo ender does the same amount of damage, and it gives you damage over time for Scorpion. So it's a good argument for almost never doing the swipe combo. Quake Engine is excellent, as you can see, as a third gear because it makes up for some of the special damage that's lost due to the damage over time effect. Plus, it increases the amount of damage over time that he gives. Special 2 has surprisingly good range. And the reason I say surprisingly is because the animation starts with punches. And in my mind, punches should be the shortest range kind of special, and they're not. Any of his hits can knock out the opponent, but it seems that the last hit of his Special 2 does more than half the damage of the special. And I mean, I'm not really haven't been really good at counting it all, but in my mind it might be as high as 2/3, but because of the variability of how it crits, I'm not sure. What that means, though, for practical purposes, is that you're very likely going to be vulnerable to tag and effects. Plus, you're going to lose out on his Special 2 damage over time effect because it won't transfer to the next opponent. If that last hit knocks out the current opponent, no damage over time effect. Because the Special 2's effect triggers on the last hit only. Surprisingly decent speed on basics. I can't remember who was the first Scorpion. It might have been... It definitely wasn't him, but the Scorpion, I was getting used to slow attacks, so he's not awful. And one of the things that I demonstrated on the Q&A, and I want to point out now, I'm going to stick at the end of the fight, is an example of Mortal Kombat X team, which is reliant a lot on damage over time generally, handling a Blackest Night Flash team. Yeah.
So there we go. We are 63 weeks since the cycle changed. We look like we're in week 9 of the new sort of longer 54-week cycle, but it still remains to be seen. You kind of need to get through 2 or maybe even 3 times all the way before you're confident that it's like fully settled down. And at that point, that's, years every time, right? That's a year per cycle.
Yeah.
So next week, we expect to see Arkham Knight Batgirl based off of the pattern.
Right.
Moving on, this week's multiplayer reward is the Overpowered Super, which starts off as the Super Pill. And when it's maxed out...
Elite speak.
Yeah. When it's maxed out, it gives you 50% damage boost to basic attacks, 50% crit chance on basic attacks, a 90% life drain chance on combo ender, and the evolved ability, which is a 100% chance to drain 15% power on combo ender. It's last available on the 5th of December of last year. We expect it next week based off of the pattern, although there has been some interruptions not too long ago.
And corrections.
We expect to see Flashpoint Aquaman. Yeah, there's been no sort of large change. It's been a change where we missed something and then it came back, not too long later. And that now it seems to be back on sort of the original schedule,
right.
Seemingly.
Right. So this is an excellent piece of gear for a basic damage dealer. The highest crit chance for basic damage possible, 50%, so that a max augmented card can get as close to 100% crit on basics as the game allows. Mm-hmm. And it comes at a bit of a cost because the damage boost is only 50% instead of the 70% that you often will get with 3.5-star gears. And mind you, this is a 4.5-star gear, so 3.5-star gears often will give you 70% basic damage boost, but a lower crit chance. But in addition, though, you get 2 combo ender effects, health drain and power drain. So I'm not the biggest fan of combo enders, but the other 2 non-combo ender effects more than make up for it. To me, this is the platonic ideal of gear for a basic damage dealer, the same way that the Tanty Totem is the platonic ideal for special specialists, and the same way Astro Harness is the ideal for tanks. The problem really is that the game favors specials so much more than basic attacks. Mm-hmm. So it's probably why you may not see this nearly as much as you see some of the other gears like Tanty Totem and Master's Death Card.
Yeah. So there we go. Moving on to the store, we have the Arkham Knight Batgirl Early Access Bundle. That is for $24.99 Canadian. Prices in Canadian because that's the information we have access to.
And that's the only currency that matters, as we've clearly established and explained in our most recent Q&A.
Yep. That is our corroborating clue to what next week's challenge is going to be. It's sort of our second piece of evidence outside of just the normal pattern. Mm-hmm. It comes with 100,000 power credits. It doesn't unlock a copy in your store. And as always, it's not really worth it unless you really, really, really want a copy of Arkham Knight Batgirl and for whatever reason you don't think you're going to be willing to do the challenge. It's just hard to imagine that kind of player, right?
Right.
Somebody who wants it bad enough but won't be able to make the time to complete the challenge or buy through it.
Right. The other new pack this week is the Gotham Gold pack. It is also $24.99 Canadian. And all right, so the copy on the pack says contains 3 Gotham City character cards, ! Limited availability. Now, if that's not the most leading or the worst joke. So you get Bane, who's a gold card, Deathstroke, who's a silver card, and Insurgency the Joker, who's a gold card. All of them are available in the store.
Yeah, I don't know what the limit is on the availability.
Yeah, this is the worst pack because you can get them all individually with power credits.
Yeah.
So it's a hard pass for me.
Mm-hmm.
2 golds and 1 silver for $24.99. No, thank you.
Moving on, in Phantom Zone, there is 1 week left before taking its 2-week break. Flight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was Zatanna, Flash, and Solomon Grundy. So this coming weekends, we expect to be Raven, Superman, and the Arkham Knight. You can check out a link in the description to a thread that tracks the breakthrough cycle if you want to check it out for yourself. As far as the current glitches go, we go into more detail every time something significant changes, which has not happened this week. If nothing changes, we do a more detailed review once a month on the first week of every month. That most recently was a recap from last week, which is the 3rd of July. Mm-hmm. You can always watch all of the glitch videos by checking out our tutorial playlist. But the most important thing to mention this week is that the challenge reset glitch has been tested and confirmed to be working on the Mortal Kombat X Scorpion challenge. Mm-hmm. And while we're talking about it, the challenge reset and the Phantom Zone reset both do the same thing. So make sure that you're willing to reset progress on both before you try to reset your progress on either.
Right.
To finish up, we would like to give a huge thank you to all of our lovely patrons on Patreon.
And that would be Michael Devries, Irvin, Ruiz, Hoshi127, Nora Klimek, and Miguel, who are all supporting us on the credited level, which is why we're crediting them now.
That's true. So thank you so much for your support. Thanks so much to all of you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.